Hi, I'm Tanya. I moved to the Netherlands 6.5 years ago. Wow, it's been long. As an expat, I hang out with lots of internationals and I hear backlash about the Dutch and the Netherlands. But why do they stay here then if they hate the Netherlands so much? There must be something positive about this country. Number one is, of course, the weather. No, I'm not one of those toxic positivity people. Let's start over. Number one is the Dutch know how to enjoy life. I often see the Dutch at 3 p.m. on a Friday out enjoying a nice weather. If the sun is up, you cannot hold the Dutch inside. They will sit on a terrace or some will pull out chairs and just get comfortable on streets with a book. Just think about it, how one must enjoy life to drop anything, cancel all the plans and go to a park. I'm still learning this, and to me it's often hard to swap all my plans last minute if the sun is up, and instead of going to the gym or editing a video, just get a blanket and go to a park. But I tried it a couple of times and I must admit, it feels good. Enjoying life like this is not as common in other countries. In Russia, for example, people on the streets often seem low-spirited and preoccupied because they are trying to figure out how to make their ends meet. Which is sad, of course, if you think about how short life is and how meaningless it is to spend it in a constant worry. But I do believe that external circumstances play a role and some people just don't see a way out. Number two, not overly obsessed with looks. I was studying in Germany where my roommate stopped by to go to a party together. A party was in a dormitory 1 floor down. He looked at me and said, you look overdressed. I like dressing up and looking nice to an occasion, but I also like that in the Netherlands you don't have to. You can look whatever and still be accepted. You can wear a simple t-shirt and jeans to a party and people are not gonna connect this to how much money you make. In Moscow, Mom and I went to buy a Tumi bag a few years ago. It was a spontaneous decision and neither Mom nor I felt like dressing up to do shopping. The sellers looked at us as if we were wasting their time and could not afford anything in this store just because of how we looked. We looked very casual. We were wearing something like home clothes. In the Netherlands, I never had to face this. While I like to dress up to an occasion, in everyday life I can be very clumsy with what I wear. What I'm trying to say here is that I like having a choice and the motive here is very important. Do I dress up because I like it, because I have the energy for it and I feel inspired? Great. That's a perfect example. Or do I dress to impress? Do I dress up because I am afraid to be judged? This is a poor motive and I don't want to be in the environment that encourages it. Number three, the Dutch value your time. Once I was organizing a birthday for my roommate and I asked a Mexican to help. We agreed to meet at 11 a.m. and I don't remember what we were supposed to do, but let's say bake a cake. The guy showed up at 2 p.m. without giving me any explanation and any heads up. In the Netherlands, I really appreciated that whenever they run late, they're gonna let you know, and generally speaking, they stick with their commitments. It's certainly harder to get them committed to something, but once they're committed, they are committed. My Dutch friend said that he would give me an interview for my video about Dutch planning. This video is published, by the way, so if you're curious about how and why the Dutch plan, you can watch the video here. I'm actually very proud of the video. It's one of the most comprehensive videos on my channel, so I highly recommend watching it. So, my Dutch friend said that he would give me an interview for this video and he booked the whole evening just to help me out. While in my experience, someone, let's say from Mexico, would either forget or run late. Number four, same-sex love is accepted. I have liberal views. Although I myself am straight and choose a monogamous relationship for myself, I appreciate that not everybody is like this. I don't believe that people should feel like an outcast or question whether there is anything wrong with them just because they don't fit the mold. I strongly feel for these people because, not with this topic, but in other areas of my life, I often felt like a black sheep. So I want this perfect world where everybody has a place and differences are viewed with curiosity and accepted rather than rejected. It's not that perfect in the Netherlands, of course, but at least you have the space to experiment and try and see what resonates with you, because the least thing you want in your life is to become somebody you're not just because everybody else does it. Number five, Dutch directness. I am a direct person by nature, so to me a direct but respectful approach works. In December, I participated in the fair where I was selling my journals. It's an undated planner that helps you manage your goals and day-to-day life. I will leave the link in the video description below in case you want to check it out. So, an American friend said, "Oh, this sounds awesome. I'll see if I can join." I read it and I was like, this from an American friend means I'm not interested. But why not just say it? Hey, thanks for the invite, sounds super cool, good luck with that, but unfortunately I won't be able to join. As simple as that. My point is not that you're not allowed to be vague, because of course if you're not sure, you can just say it, and indeed you'll see later if you have the energy or time for it. But if I know that I cannot join, I will just say it straight away. And it's neither rude nor disrespectful. You can always frame it in a nice and polite language and still remain clear and direct and clear. Number 6. Innovations. The Netherlands ranks 4th in the European Innovation Scoreboard 2022. And this is for a reason, because we have lots of startup hubs and incubators. The universities here encourage their students to start a business and innovate. For example, yes, Delft. The practical advantage for an average person like you and me is that, for example, at Schiphol Airport in Amsterdam, we don't have to take out all our electronics and liquids, because Schiphol Airport is the first major airport in the world that introduced the computer tomography scanners. How cool is that? It saves so much time. I don't have to go through all my baggage and take out my laptop and then look for my shampoo. I just go and easy. Number 7, cleanliness. Talking about travels and trips, whenever I come back to the Netherlands, I always appreciate how clean the country is. I know a lot of Dutchies would disagree with me, and I feel you guys, because given the amount of taxes we pay, I would expect the country to be even more clean. But let's set emotions aside for a second, and if we compare the Netherlands with other countries in the world, it's good. It's relatively clean. This summer I spent 2 months in Bali, and of course, comparing the Netherlands to Indonesia, but let's still go with this example. I got back from Bali and I was like, wow, that's so clean here. I'm so happy. And it's just a good reminder not to take it for granted, because sometimes I do. Number 8, cycling. For someone who doesn't know how to drive a car, cycling is an enormous advantage. To be honest with you, when I moved to the Netherlands in my early 20s, I did not know how to cycle, but now I am a pro. Anyways, I digressed. Well, I don't have to remind you that cycling is better for the environment, but it's also very convenient, because I just hop on a bike and I can be anywhere in Eindhoven within 20 minutes. In the Netherlands, it's safe because as a cyclist, I never have to go on a car road or in a pedestrian lane. We have dedicated bicycle lanes. Bikes take a priority. I feel like a king or queen in this case when I'm cycling. Sometimes you bump into lost tourists, or some people get too absorbed in their thoughts, so you have to honk or urgently hit brakes, but it is what it is. For the rest, it's very good. Number 9, work-life balance. People literally think that work is less important and prioritize well-being. This also means that people tend to be less ambitious when it comes to career, which I miss sometimes. But I like the general idea of not having to put work first if you don't want to. I like that people have hobbies and time for themselves. When I go on holidays, I don't have to be available. I don't have to be available in the evenings. Whatever it is, it can wait till the morning. In my particular example, at my job, I have a lot of flexibility, and some flexibility is expected back, which is only fair. So I completely don't mind going to work earlier or staying late once in a while, because I know that tomorrow I can come late or leave earlier if I need to. So even if in some jobs like mine, there is a level of flexibility expected from you, you will always have it back. While in countries like the US or Russia, you are expected to make extra hours, but those hours are not compensated back to you in any shape or form. In the Netherlands, it's much more balanced. Number 10. Flat hierarchy. As someone who likes to collaborate and discuss, I have an issue with authorities. I don't appreciate being told what to do, as it was at my previous job for an American startup, where the answer was always, because I said so. This approach simply doesn't work for me, and I don't know one single smart person who would be exhilarated by this attitude. I'm thoroughly disagreeable, so I need to hear people's reasoning and opinion, because otherwise the default answer is no, I disagree with you. In this sense, the Netherlands is a perfect place for me because the Dutch like to discuss and explain their point of view. I really appreciate that in the Netherlands your boss can be challenged. Of course, we're people in the end and no one wants or likes to be completely brushed off, but you can respectfully disagree, acknowledging their perspective. In conclusion, I want to remind everybody that there is no such thing as right or wrong answer. Each point unnamed here has a dark side too. What's gold for me can be trash for you, and vice versa, and that's completely normal.